and teach for school-age providers and be a little bit more flexible with their number of hours, and also be able to reach out to non-licensed programs. So that was the other issue, licensed versus non-licensed. And that's something I hope to find a foundation or other group that would be interested in working with us to create a similar funding stream or support structure that would be modeled after Teach, if not part, or built into that actual system. Other comments? Yes, they are on www.nccap.net, which is our website. Yes, you can download a copy. We have some extras, so great. Other questions? Okay. We have got about 15 minutes left. Our concluding discussion that we wanted you to have was around just kind of coming up with a pledge that we could all sort of briefly share at the end around what you can do to advance the field of school-age care. And you can put on your sort of faculty person hat, speaking from the college perspective, or just a local advocate. You know, we're going to have sessions throughout Synergy about addressing the budget cuts and the ongoing constraints on after-school programs with losing some of the funding streams and with the federal and state budget cuts trickling down to the local level. And so whether it's putting on the hat of a local advocate that's just speaking out or sharing with school boards or city council groups about the benefits of quality programs, but what's something that when you leave here today you can commit to doing for the field of school age? And it may just be going back and having that key conversation at your campus about moving some of this forward. But take just a few minutes to do that, and we'll try to wrap up a little bit earlier so you get a good break before the competencies workshop. Okay, let's hear from a few of you on what your ideas are, and then we'll close up and move to the competencies workshop. So starting, okay. You gonna take it, Sharon?
It's a good thing. I really like the people that I'm sitting at the table with. We had a couple of discussions. One thing that really would work is if all of us have advisory committees as being part of community colleges. If you don't have a school-age education program person on your advisory committee, in other words, if your public schools have after-school programs, you need to be collaborating and in contact with that person and let that person become a stakeholder in your advisory committee meeting. Because as you well know, anything that the advisory committee members say is pretty much kind of like, okay, when you talk to your administration, they're your support and they're your advocates. So we do have them on our committee and they offer great input. And not only that, that's a great way to build your program. Also, if you have even non-licensed after-school programs, church after-school programs, invite them to come as a guest at your advisory committee meetings so they can see your inner workings and see what's going on. Because there you will have, stakeholders, you will have buy-in there too. Because it's all about collaboration and really working together to benefit the people that we're serving. Because a community college to me means serving the needs of your community. Another suggestion too, and we were thinking about for you, we know that deans and vice presidents and presidents of community colleges meet, I don't know how often, but for you to actually attend their meetings and let them know what your initiative is all about, therefore giving us support as well and advocation as well so that everything can flow. So those were the things that we basically came up with. Was there anything else? Okay, that's it, I'm done.
Those are wonderful suggestions. Thank you, Sharon. And that's a great point about the faith-based community. We work with over 6,000 after-school programs across the state, and there's huge numbers in the faith-based community, and particularly may not know where to turn for resources and professional development. So please do make that outreach, and we'll try to, on our end, when we get those phone calls from faith-based providers, to put them in touch with you as well. We have a working database depending on the entity and whose program. Sometimes there's information sharing issues with the email addresses or the addresses, but if you call us, we can certainly work together and put you in touch, like I mentioned, the after-school liaisons, a point person in your community, and do some information sharing of the programs. Certainly the state agencies that fund after-school, we could give you those list of programs and put you in touch with the right people to talk to. That's a great point. Anyone here like to chime in? Okay. Anybody at this table, any closing thoughts on how you can help? Okay. Great. And over here. Well, I think.
Well, one of the things that I plan on doing, I thought about the advisory committees right away, kind of rebuild, because I am the school-age person at my school, and so kind of revamping that committee and looking at who's on the committee, but also kind of making that connection and closing the loop between curriculum and continuing education, because there are benefits to both sides of the college in this program. So just kind of making that connection and bridging that gap between and working more as a partner, getting in touch with our public offerings director for continuing education, again, bridging that gap. So, because the floodgates are going to open.
Thank you. Well, this has been a great day. I appreciate your time and attention. I know it was a packed day. We didn't have many breaks built in there. One last parting comment? Yes? Session 9 will be in Grandover West. That is the competencies workshop. Barbara stepped out because she's going to be leading that workshop along with Claire Tate with the Child Care Commission, Laura Hewitt, who you heard from this morning, and Mary Roberts with Chapel Hill Carborough City Schools. So again, if you take a right, just go down the hall. The competencies workshop will begin at 3. And then that reception and youth forum that I mentioned is going to be at 4:15 in the Victoria Ballroom, and we hope to see you all there.
One thing we've been doing is we've already started meeting with the elementary school principals about a lot of the stuff that we're doing and trying to encourage them to encourage people and, that kind of thing. So meeting with the principals is a good idea.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.